Hello and welcome to Explainer on Singing Techniques. Today we're going to talk about a bit about tension and a bit about raising the soft palate. This is a follow-up to my previous video, which was a feedback on how my student did and what is important in improving your singing technique and how to sing high notes properly. So I mentioned in the previous video that tension is good, and it depends on what I mean by that. Okay, so for many of us singers, when we sing we are tense because we are not relaxed, and that is a bad kind of tension. One of the first things that my lecturer told me when I was singing was to relax and not be tense. And that's because a lot of times when singers sing, we tend to have tension in our shoulders, tension in our back, and even tension in our chest and our throat, and that actually prevents a lot of the airways from opening up. It prevents us from really being able to give space for the notes to come out. However, there is something called support. So when you're singing a note, whether it's a low note or a high note, for singers to sing the note with correct delivery, the right amount of control of how much air to put into the note and how much power you want to deliver it, it comes from support. You need to actually support your notes. So whether it's a low note or even if it's a high note, you actually need to support your notes well. And this support comes from the belly. As illustrated here on the screen, you would actually see that support comes from this location, and what would happen is that you would actually need to push down and outwards the note, in contrast to actually pushing the note out through your mouth. And so one thing that a lot of singers tend to mix up is that kind of so-called tense feeling where you are actually supporting. So we like to actually use the word support rather than tense. Supporting the note so that it has the right amount of control and you're not jiggling or shaking the note uncontrollably, but you are controlling how the note is delivered and how it comes out. And that is the first thing that my lecturer actually taught me. More than anything else, I think support is really important. It's something that many singers, especially amateur singers, don't know how to do. There are a lot of naturally talented singers that can raise their soft palate, that have their tongue at the correct positions, like right behind the teeth and all that, and not in the way of the note, but somehow or another they don't naturally develop support. There are very few people who naturally develop support, unless these are gym goers. I think the first thing that I did as I started learning how to sing professionally or to sing properly at all was to actually start going to the gym. And while it doesn't seem apparent, I actually do find a lot of importance in exercising and making sure that I'm strong enough so that I can sing. Because one thing I noticed as I was learning how to sing, the stronger I am as a person in the gym and all that, the stronger I am as a singer, the more I can sing. I can end up, I think at my peak I was singing at up to an hour without feeling tired. Beyond that, it was maybe around 2 or 3 hours. I was able to practice with some breaks in between for up to about 3 or 4 hours a day if I had to. I'm the kind of person who really doesn't enjoy practicing, but I do enjoy singing. So for me, it didn't seem like practice, and so I never felt like I really practiced, but my lecturer would still say, "Hey, you've improved so much," and I'll be like, "How? I never practiced." But actually, if I think back about it, most of the time it is because I was singing throughout the week. I enjoyed that singing. I even sometimes remember to support when I'm singing. So that's why going to the gym actually helped my singing a lot. So for those of you who are thinking that, hey, my art doesn't need practice. Sometimes exercising can be part of the practice as well, because I used to go to the gym every day for about 6 times a week. I would take a rest day on Sunday. That was when I was still studying my first year and trying to make sure that I could actually pass my exams. I've slacked off quite a fair bit thanks to the past couple of years being what they are, but thankfully enough, I've already restarted my exercising, and that has definitely helped with my singing techniques as well. Now, lifting your soft palate is another thing that I used to forget to do, and I get sore throat. And the sore throat comes from when your throat is actually not high enough and it's actually hitting other sections of the back of your mouth, and you end up with that hitting actually causing the soreness. So it is actually very important to remember to lift your soft palate, and that would actually create more space. But for me, the key point or the key takeaway was that it prevented me from getting a sore throat. Okay, so these are the first 2 things that I would emphasize a lot on when you're learning singing. So for those of you who want to know more, feel free to reach out in the comments below. And for my students, I hope you take this to heart and you try to practice these things. And if you have any more questions, you can always ask me on the Discord channel. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.